The Prince and the Pauper. Chapter 3. For several days, the king was looking for a chance to escape. One day, Hugo snuck up behind the woman. He stole her package and ran away, putting it into the king's hands. The woman thought he was the thief, and she held him. A crowd gathered around, calling him names. Miles Hendon was close by to help. "Wait, good people, this is a matter for the law," he said. The contents turned out to be a plump little pig. The judge looked nervous and Miles turned pale. "How much do you think the pig is worth?" the judge asked after a pause. "3 shillings and 8 pence, Your Honor," the woman answered. The judge ordered the crowd to leave. Then he said to the woman, "Do you know what when someone steals anything over the value of 13 pence, the law says he will be hanged?" The woman jumped to her feet. "Oh, I wouldn't hang the poor boy. What should I do?" "You may change the value since it hasn't been written yet. Then I will say the pig is worth 8 pence. The woman was allowed to go home. She left the room, but was followed by the constable. Miles Hendon, who was always paying attention, wanted to know why he followed her out. He went into the dark hall and listened. The constable said, "That is a fat pig and will be good to eat. I will buy it from you. Here is the 8 pence. But it cost me 3 shillings and 8 pence, the woman said. "Oh, did it? Then you lied when you said it was worth only 8 pence. Come with me and tell the truth to the judge. The boy will hang." "All right, I will give you the pig for 8 pence. Miles went back into the courtroom, and the constable followed after hiding his pig. The judge read the king a lecture and sentenced him to a short time in the common jail. The king started to complain, but was quiet after seeing a warning sign from Miles. The two walked with the constable towards the jail. When they reached a quiet market square, Miles said to the constable in a low voice, "I would like to say something to you, sir." "What is it?" "Turn your back a moment and let this boy go." "What? I will arrest you." "Don't be so quick, constable. I know all about you." Miles Hendon told him had heard the constable talking to the woman in the hall. "Should I tell the judge? It could cost you your life." The constable was in fear for a moment and then said, "I only did it for a joke." "Oh, do you mean you kept the woman's pig as a joke?" "Yes, I was only joking." "All right then, I will ask the judge if it is right for the lawman to trick poor woman and take her pig as a joke. I think you have taken advantage of a woman and stolen her goods over the value of 13 pence. That calls for hanging." "Help me, sir. I will do anything you ask," the constable said. Then be blind for a minute." "Blind?" "See nothing while the boy and I live." After saying this, Miles hurried away with the king. Miles and the king traveled to Hendon Hall, but were met there by his evil brother. He said he didn't know Miles and would not talk to him. They began to argue, and the brother went away. Then the king wrote Miles a paper in 3 languages that told about his immediately he told him to take it to London, but suddenly an officer came and they were arrested. He took them to prison together. While in prison, Miles and the sword servant secretly came to visit them. There is a rumor that the king is mad, he said, but don't say I told you or I will be killed. The late king is going to be buried soon, and the new king will be crowned afterwards. I wonder if the beggar boy I left in the palace is pretending to be the king. The king said to himself, no, it can't be possible. But why aren't they looking for the real prince? The king met many enough people in the prison. He became friends with two women who treated him kindly. They told him they were in prison for being baptized. He also met a man who was there for killing a deer in the royal forest. He promised to free them within a month, but they didn't believe he could. Miles Sandon was forced to sit in the stocks. When their sentence was finished, they were set free and ordered to leave. They went on their way to London. When they arrived at London Bridge, they ended up among the crowd of cheering people. The coronation ceremony would be held the next day for the new king. The people were already celebrating. Miles and the little king became separated in the crowd. While the true king was wandering through the land, the mock king was having a different experience. At first, he was scared and surprised, but after a while, he got used to his new surroundings. He had almost forgotten about the vanished prince. Tom insisted that he was not a prince, but he was called a prince by all. Everyone said, "This is the true prince gone mad." That morning, it was the great day the new king would be crowned. Tom rode a horse, followed by many nobles and high officers. The guards wore bright armor. The people shouted gladly. Tom gazed over the crowd. Once in a while, people called to him. "A gift," said Tom, answered by throwing a handful of new coins to the people. As Tom was raising his hands to toss more coins, he saw a pale face in the crowd. He recognized his mother. He put his hand in front of his eyes in a familiar way she would know. Quickly, she pushed her way through the crowd and was at his side. "My darling child!" she cried out. At the same time, a guard pulled her away. "I do not know you, woman," said Tom, but it hurt him to see his mother treated so badly. She seemed broken-hearted and fell back into the crowd. The parade went on past the cheering people, but Tom rode with his head bowed. He kept remembering those terrible words he had said. The Lord Protector came to his side and said, "The people see your looks. Lift up your face and smile at them. That crazy pauper, it was her who disturbed you." Tom turned to the dog and said in a dull voice, "She was my mother." The Lord Protector groaned as he went back to his post. "My God, he has gone mad again."